accesstv.org, grassroots social media television.
Hello and welcome to OEG's Unscripted with Reese and Grace. We are happy to be here once again in studio with you.
Good morning. February the 28th.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I got the date correct.
Okay, good, because I didn't know what it was.
We're going to be talking about, in this portion of the show, we're going to be talking about seniors and technology, some of the challenges and hopefully ways to help some of the situation, because especially in this day and age, technology is it's at a rapid growth rate. And sometimes even the younger crowd, so to speak, can't even keep up. So we can only imagine how some of our seniors, some of our elders are, trying to deal with it. So
we actually got the idea for this segment when we, Reese took a family member to an appointment, and what happened?
Wow. So took one of our family members to an appointment and went to register. It was a doctor's appointment.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say what or who. And we went, and she was given a registration form, but it wasn't your typical registration form. We went to the stand. The lady at the other side said, "Well, okay, I need you to register." So I said, "Okay." Well, I started to leave. I was supposed to just drop off the family member and then come back because I had to go somewhere real fast. No sooner than I left, I get called back saying, "Well, I need you, if you can, just to kind of watch over her registration." I'm like, "Why?" She pulls out an iPad. An iPad, excuse me. She pulls out an iPad and just hands it to her. Says, "Here you go." It's like, okay. And so what are we supposed to do with this thing? Oh, just fill out all the information and just pass it back. Yeah, there's going to be a questionnaire. There's going to be a little questionnaire and a survey. And, it should take about maybe 5 to 10 minutes and just pass it back.
Yeah.
And our poor family member was just so lost.
Yeah. I felt so frustrated when he told me about that, because I just thought, okay, how many seniors know what to do? You just hand them an iPad and that's it. And you think about, while in recent years, I think the numbers have been growing in terms of the numbers of seniors online using technology. There's still a lot who don't, and there are different categories, and we want to kind of talk about these different categories of seniors and how we can help them, because that to me was just so frustrating, because I knew that this person didn't have any training with technology. I
basically didn't even know what to do with the iPad.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm very I was almost say illiterate. Well, I'm very computer literate.
Yeah.
And she gave me the iPad, and I'm looking at it like, okay, what am I supposed to do? And so she had to walk me through the process so I can walk our family member through the process.
Yeah.
So we're just going to try to give you some tips on hopefully to kind of give some better insight on how to use some technology specifically for our seniors, and some things that they can use just to be a little more functional in life.
And I think we have some categories, like I said, some characteristics, we call them. And we've been laughing because, I'm sure that we all know some senior who fits into one of these categories. And it's kind of funny, but it's not funny.
But it is funny.
But it is funny. So, okay, so one of them is the slow starter. And so basically, like I said, the number of seniors who are using the internet has grown. But this is someone who just, they're not used to going online. They didn't need to. They don't see the benefits of it. They don't really know how to. So you really have to kind of start slow with them as well, and not, have big expectations. You have to kind of take those baby steps, because really it's like teaching them something new. And so it's like teaching a child to read almost. And so if you have a senior who's just not done anything at all, you have to really take those baby steps with them. But they're called the slow starter.
How do we help the slow starter?
Basically, just really going, taking it step by step, really trying to find ways to break down from the beginning, what is the internet? What is the web? Really just kind of taking them piece by piece by piece by piece, and not assuming that they know anything about it.
Any volunteers? It's going to take too long. I'm barely learning myself.
Yeah.
I told you that lady gave me the iPod. she gave me the iPod and said, "Here you go," and I'm like,
well, a lot of senior centers,
Mhm.
now are becoming equipped
Yeah.
with technology for seniors and geared towards, have people in place to kind of help them. So that was the advice, to take them to a senior center, start there, and say, hey, I have someone who needs to get on technology. And a lot of them, because we're in the technology age, are equipping themselves with technology to start helping, that slow starter.
Do we know of any workshops out there that are providing maybe workshops or training?
Usually the library will offer them. A lot of the community colleges will offer. They have adult classes. And so if you go to the town community center, they usually have a listing of activities. And usually there's a section there for seniors, but technology is usually on that list as well.
I haven't seen that. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because I'm sure, especially in this department, you're a lot more resourcable.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen that. Whenever I look for senior activities, I see bingo. I see casino.
That's true.
Whatever, rummy. I see all these games and stuff. I don't see stuff that are, like a technology class that's really going to benefit. Is there any organization, especially out here in the greater Hartford area, that can provide this service? Okay.
To your point, it's not frequent. I don't see it often. I've seen it. I've seen a section for seniors in terms of like a lot of towns will have this booklet of community activities, and I've seen things like that, but I don't see it often. And where do seniors know how to look? They don't really know how to look.
Sometimes they don't even. That's the point. Sometimes they don't even know what they're looking for.
No, exactly.
I mean, many seniors are not even aware that this technology is coming up until they run into it. Like at the doctor's appointment, she was just simply going to register her name for her appointment to check in, and she gets slapped with an iPad.
To your point, a lot of places should do some more outreach. They do outreach to take them to trips and bingo. They should do outreach for technology.
All right, what's next?
That's a really, really good point. So the Nervous Nelly.
I
like this one. So Nervous Nelly would be like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I should do an accent.
Wow. Please don't give this person away.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to use it.
Do the accent. Do the accent.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to use it. Just
very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
So basically, it's saying that many older seniors respond to constant demands of changing times, but they are intimidated, very fearful, and their nervousness is accompanied by self-doubt. I'll give you that one because I know that you. Okay. You get the next one.
Wow, I got to do this one
because you're good at that. And so basically, how do you help them? Like most of us adults learn one by one, hands-on, show them rather than tell them, show them. So this is, again, the Nervous Nelly. You have to show them. Don't just tell them to do something and expect they're going to do it. That was the first advice. The second is to give information in small bites. Don't overwhelm them with a ton of information because they're nervous about it to begin with. So the more information you give them at one time, they're really going to be like, oh God, I can't do this. And then the last advice was to show them, again, one thing at a time and let them practice doing it. Don't just like throw a bunch of stuff and then see, now I hear my accent. So it's like totally staying with me. But don't just throw them a bunch of stuff and have them repeat that one thing multiple times before you give them something else because they're going to be nervous and they're going to just mess up.
I tried that a while ago, the rest in peace with my grandparents many years ago. I tried that already and they just watched me do it. First, it was like,
gotta let them
help me. Okay, let me help you. And so I helped them. And the next thing you know, it was finished. They said, thank you.
Okay.
Don't get played. The cranky curmudgeon.
See, I couldn't say that word.
Curmudgeon, right?
Yeah.
You know the cranky curmudgeon. Everybody know the cranky curmudgeon? Do you know the cranky curmudgeon? Okay. The has a low frustration threshold. Easily annoyed is a cranky curmudgeon. Easily annoyed, okay? And lacks the patience to work through the problems when they arise, right? You all know that? Okay. So the cranky curmudgeon is my best impersonation.
Okay.
Is I ain't doing that. I've been doing this way for years. I don't need to do it. I don't need to pay it. I don't need to use a credit card. I don't need a credit card. I can pay cash. That's the cranky curmudgeon. Okay.
Very good.
Thank you. Or when they actually try something, they try it for a couple seconds and it's not working, so they slap the thing off the desk. How do we help the cranky curmudgeon? And a lot of them are not elders, just so you know. I know plenty of 30-year-old cranky curmudgeon.
Okay, wow.
Just if it's you, just be quiet, say ouch or say amen or say whatever. To prevent frustration,
Okay.
set low expectations from the start. Explaining that pretty much everyone gets stuck early and that it's no big deal. Chill.
Oh, it's like that. Just chill.
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 It's okay.
Chill.
We'll do it better next time. Offer plenty of positive reinforcement after each task. You did great. Sure, you froze the computer, but it's okay. Try it again. That was great. We did better next time. We only lost one file this time. It's okay. And if your loved one gets impatient with you, you can speed up the pace of your instruction. Hurry up. But stop frequently and have practice. Have them practice each skill.
Okay.
I would probably tend to talk so fast that they don't understand, and they just say, well, okay, well, let's try again later.
And they get annoyed with you.
Exactly.
Right.
Thank you. Let's talk about some devices that I think seniors should try to embrace. Okay, some necessary things. And we comprise the list based off of seniors.net, seniorsnet.org. Excuse me, forgive me, seniorsnet.org. We have about 10 things. We may not get through all 10, but let's try to get through some of the more important things. First on the list just happens to be an iPad.
Yeah.
Tablet and iPad. Which
makes sense because that's what offices are going to now. Doctor's offices. I mean, where do seniors spend a lot of time? Doctor's office, right?
Right.
So, and that's everybody's using technology. They don't do paper so much more, which is really frustrating because seniors need their glasses. It's just, I don't necessarily think that that should be the only way to do things anymore. I mean, I understand where they're going with it, trying to be concise and time efficient and product efficient, but it doesn't work for everybody.
Even as simple as they're trying to conserve your natural resources, things like paper.
I understand.
You know, they're switching to, you know, online services because it also saves quicker. You know, you can get the information on your patient quicker.
Right.
So, I mean, it makes sense that, you know, in a way that we're kind of switching over to this, but again, it's leaving people behind. So you want to introduce our seniors to a little more technology, tablets, iPads, we'll even say computers. Just start with a simple computer, teach them how to use it. Again, there has to be some kind of workshop or computer classes out there that anyone could take, that not just seniors. And let's train them on that. So that way, when you do go to the doctor's appointment, they get hit with an iPad. Hopefully, you know, they're not left behind.
Yeah,
okay.
Again, check with the libraries, the senior centers, community centers. They have resources for that information.
Along with that is wireless internet. Okay, if you have your iPad, you have your tablet, get some wireless internet, Wi-Fi, or, you know, oh my goodness, there's so many things going on. Our executive producer is a master technician with all that. He can give you all the terminology and all that stuff. We're still learning that as well. You know, I'm old school with it. Wow, I almost said I'm old school. Smartphone, that's old school.
Wow.
You know, that's how fast we're going. I said I'm old school with a smartphone. Everything's on my phone. That's how fast we're going.
Yeah.
Start with some wireless internet. What do we have here? Most of the technologies wouldn't be possible without, you know, wireless internet. We know that. Our smartphone would not be. Our iPads, our tablets, you know, they wouldn't be.
Another one that I liked on the list, and it's probably not, you know, something they use for just daily living, but I liked it that they had video games and computer games.
Yeah,
I liked that because you know what? Seniors need to keep their minds sharp. That's why I like it. Their minds sharp. Sometimes they're not reading books and, you know, magazines, and they're just on, you know, TV with the game shows and soap operas and things like that. But keep their minds sharp as well. It might be able to give them something to connect with their younger children, like grandchildren or kids with as well. So I actually like that one.
Nothing brings a family better than Grand Theft Auto.
That's not quite what I had in mind. Reese.
Watching Grandpa
just saying.
Shoot you up.
You know,
in GoldenEye.
Like ingredients, like a video game about baking.
What?
You know?
What?
Making.
We just you just went from Grand Theft Auto to The Sims.
You know, just baking.
Anyway. Call of Duty.
No.
Yes.
No.
Grandma is undefeated in Call of Duty. She is a bad mamma jamma.
I'm just trying to see, you know.
Okay.
You know, shooting up.
She got on the camouflage. She got the you know, the headset and everything. She got her code name, Bad Mamma Jamma.
No.
Okay. Now. GPS. We're actually running out of time. This is a long topic. It's a very important topic. GPS is very important. I think.
Do you think so? See, I don't.
It's extremely important for seniors that drive, that have places to go, and don't necessarily already know how to get there. If you're someone who transports someone,
Oh, never mind.
I almost started a true story. I'm just going to stop there because we're running out of time. If you're someone that transports someone and they don't necessarily know how to get there, and neither do you, you might want to invest in a GPS for them as well, because that will help them navigate you.
That I can see. It's the whole seniors and driving thing I'm having issues with after.
Well, yeah, well, you don't want to
That's
take
another
seniors.
issue.
You don't want to take their independence. You know, I mean, seniors, as long as they can drive, let them drive.
That's true.
You know,
It's just the ones that are not alert. You know.
You act like you've had some experience with this.
No, not at all.
We'll be right back on the OEG's Unscripted with Reese and Grace.
Black History Month. We pause to acknowledge and appreciate contributions enriching our cultural and intellectual fabric. Keep it coming.
We are the members of the Saturday Boston Dance Theater, and we celebrate Black history 365 days of the year.
Hi, this is Elijah Williams from Blue Hill Civic Association, and you're watching accesstv.org. See, kids, I think like the most important thing that a kid needs is the education, because it's not only kids, it's adults, everybody. They all need an education. Without it, you can't get nowhere in this world. That's my perspective, and that's my opinion. And with Blue Hill Civic Association, it mostly teaches you about business, from writing a resume to filling out a job application. It is a job readiness program for kids that's my age. Well, I'm 17, so yeah, it's like for kids my age, near my age, mostly for everybody, because everybody needs to know how to do that. Access TV, I feel like Access TV is like, it's like culture. I say that because, you know, you got different channels, and they all talk about different things. And in those different things, you know, you got relationships, you got our show, Blue Hill Civic Association, and you also got, you know, the Bible, who Christ, and all that. So yeah, like I think it's like multicultural. And yeah, again, you're watching accesstv.org.
OEG's Unscripted with Reese and Grace, and we're back, and we're talking about Hollywood on the carpet, calling Hollywood out on the carpet. Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess the most obvious reason is this past Sunday, last week, February the 22nd, correct, was the 2015 Oscars, and there was a lot of controversy going around the Oscars. Yes. Actually, the most obvious controversy was there didn't seem to be, according to everyone, enough people that kind of look like us.
Yes.
You know, represented at the Oscars this year.
There were people picketing outside during the Oscars, basically because a lot of the leading roles and supporting roles, there was no Black, you know, candidates up for the award. And so that was kind of, you know, that kind of an underlying theme. And then when the Oscars actually started, the host himself said, we're celebrating the whitest, I mean, the brightest. and I just thought, wow, that was pretty bold. And so I think he was just kind of, acknowledging that. And kind of throughout the night, they were like themes of that. And afterwards, lots of talk about it. Lots of things came out of that. And so, I think this has been an ongoing quote unquote issue for some people over the years. I don't think it's changed much. We were looking at an old quote that was kind of brought up recently from Chris Rock, who basically said, it's a white industry, just like the NBA is a black industry. This is Chris Rock's quote. Mm-hmm. And he's not saying a bad thing. It just is. The Huffington Post did an article recently about this year's Oscars and basically said that, Rock was wrong, that it was a bad thing, that 43 million people watched the Academy Awards just last year. And this year it reached about 200 countries, but yet, again, it's not diversified enough. It's not reflective of the industry. And so that's just, I think it's just been an ongoing issue. But the flip side of that is, Selma, the movie that was out this year, was nominated as a potential movie of the year. It didn't win, but there was some controversy about this, some controversial statements about that, because the question is, should it have been? Because it is the only Black, movie nominated.
I'm going to get a lot of hate mail for this. Tired of people playing the race card. Mm. Just because Selma was the Black movie, quote unquote, mm-hmm. That's my quote. There's nobody else's, is mine. Mm-hmm. Does that mean it needed to be the winner?
There's been some feedback on that. One person said that, while it was a good movie, mm-hmm. and it had a good, topic, it lacked some of the artistic characteristics and quality needed to win. And then also during the premiere, I guess some people in the cast wore T-shirts, kind of reflecting the recent police-related deaths going on in the country. And so, was that part of
mm-hmm. Everything was happening? Everything was happening at that same time.
So, because all of that happened, should it have been acknowledged with an award? It really has to me, I think any movie has to step up. Like any other movie that's not, directed or created by someone Black.
I am neither pro nor con that this particular movie. I haven't even seen it. Mm-hmm. Okay, to be honest, I haven't seen it yet. Plan to, have not seen it yet. So, but I don't believe that any movie considered white nor Black or whatever race you want to call it should win just because of a circumstance. It needs to be a good movie. It needs to be worthy of the award, mm-hmm. to win. Now, arguably, absolutely, this was the brightest Oscars maybe of any that we've seen in a long time. Mm-hmm. So there just wasn't a lot of us, if you will.
But is that Hollywood's fault? Because are there enough actors? Is there enough work? There are a lot of people who are up and coming, trying to make it in the business. Is that what it's going to be reflected?
Only those in Hollywood can truly answer, but debatably, I'm sure it's a resounding yes. Mm-hmm. There is a certain image that I believe, I don't live there. I know quite a few, but I don't live there. That need to be, there's quite an image that needs to be perpetuated, if you will. And the image is not always the kinky hair, darker pigmentation, mm-hmm. to be honest. Let's just put it out there. It's not, which is why even those with the darker pigmentation lighten up a little bit, which is why we perm the hair to get the kink out, color it certain colors to fit, the television screen appearance of whatever that image may be.
Well, that is a really, really good segue. You just kind of came out naturally of something that actually came out the Oscars, and mm-hmm. I've been big on. I actually wrote a blog about this recently, and that is that whole image. So you have Disney Channel darling, mm-hmm. star actress Zendaya, last name is Coleman actually, And, you know, everyone knows that Juliana Rancic from the E! Fashion Police basically slammed her because she wore dreadlocks on the red carpet. She had a beautiful white gown, designer gown on, and she wore these dreadlocks. And basically told her that she basically said, I think she, you know, she probably smells like, I can't pronounce it, patchouli oil, I believe it is, and weed. And the oil wasn't so much the issue because that's just a common thing used in aromatherapy among different, you know, ethnicities. But it was the weed part that became a big issue. And basically she got slammed for it. And she initially said, you know, I'm not insulting her at all. I'm talking about her bohemian look because of the gown that she had. But people were like, okay, really? But then Zendaya, who, you know, again, is 18 years old, she came back with this like eloquent and very hard-hitting, in-your-face kind of response that basically said there's a fine line between what is funny and disrespectful. Someone said something about my hair at the Oscars that left me in awe, not because of her, you know, she's relishing in outfit reviews, but because it was basically insulting. And to say that an 18-year-old smelled like patchouli oil or weed is a large stereotype and outrageously offensive. And then she went on to name some people who wear dreads, and she talked about Terry McMillan, the author, and some Harvard law professors, and she continued to go on to talk about, you know, how they don't smell of marijuana. So she really went on to educate, and a lot of people came to her defense. And then Rancic eventually said, you know, this was a learning lesson for me, even with, you know, all the things that we do at E! And to offer reviews, we really need to be more sensitive. And the question was, you know, it just raised this whole thing about that image that you just talked about with Hollywood. You know, what is something wrong with that image? So here she had her dreadlocks going on, and it became a joke, you know, because she wasn't fitting into the, you know, the traditional coiffed hair and permed hair, relaxed look, and all of that. And so, yeah, I mean, we need to be. I think Hollywood needs to be more reflective of all. You know, it shouldn't feed into culture where somebody can actually say that about someone.
I don't believe there's too much diversity in Hollywood, and it's not allowed. You know, there is an image, there's a very distinct look that everybody needs to fit. You know, and and you can't listen.
That was the problem right there with that. Yeah, she fed right into that.
And you know what? You can't give the Black people. Let's just put it out there. See, now I'm sorry. My censorship is starting to come off now. You can't give Black people every few years an award of some kind and, you know, think we're supposed to just be okay. Instead
of climate where somebody can criticize them for their ethnicity.
Right.
You know, it's just, something's wrong.
Congratulations to Common and John Legend, you know, for the award that they received. But, you know, what's that, 5? What's that big 5 Oscars? Yeah. Name them. 5, name them. How many African-American people have won Oscars?
Well, obviously you go to Denzel initially, Halle Berry, but then there's, and I don't have all the names off the top of my head, but Sidney Poitier. She
last year.
Well, just last year.
Who
was last year?
Lupita.
Oh, I don't get to pronounce her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you have Common and
yeah.
And John Legend. So there's your 5. And it's like, and how long has the Oscars been going on?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me these are the only 5?
Yeah.
No, there's definitely an image that's being perpetuated. Now, like I said, the other side of the fence is if you didn't earn the award, you just didn't earn it. Okay, but there's some people who have earned it. It should have earned it. I'm still upset over The Color Purple.
Yeah.
Done with that.
I know.
Let's get over that. That's years ago.
There's a lot of movies.
There's I mean, exactly.
A lot of actors. I mean, you have, you know, really good bodies of work that just definitely have been snubbed, as they like to say.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just a simple fact that, you know, there is definitely a certain mold. There's definitely a certain image that needs to be perpetuated through Hollywood to make everyone believe that this is the way it should be. And I think it definitely came into fruition, you know, at the Oscars. You really started to see, I mean, and it wasn't just this particular quote about Zendaya, excuse me. There was a whole nother quote that was said something about, what was it? Some reporters called somebody a jigaboo or called their dance style a jigaboo. Like that's the stuff that kind of stuff was flowing all throughout the media. Like,
I think that, this day and age, it's just like, the police related deaths and, is in this day and age, why are we still here? In Hollywood, I mean, everybody pays attention to them. I think they have the opportunity to really set the tone and really celebrate, diversity of the people who support them. And we're having these conversations.
We're having these conversations, unfortunately, because things haven't changed. They've just gotten quiet, but they're spilling back out again.
Yeah.
And yes, with the police related deaths, I think things have been spilling out a lot more.
There's more works coming out.
More works coming out.
Mm-hmm.
People are not holding their tongue anymore.
Yeah.
They're speaking out. Hey, I had no issue. I wasn't there, but watching and hearing it, I had no issue with the picket going on outside the Oscars. Didn't.
At least it raised awareness. And that's kind of why we wanted to talk about it today. It's like, this is still something that we need to pay attention to, just the images that are out there. And we have a say too. We support that industry. Everybody supports that industry. And it's going to be reflective of the future as well. We have to say something about it. I think I'd say kudos to them for even wanting to do that at the Oscars. Kudos to Zendaya for wearing her braids on the red carpet.
Absolutely.
Like, what's wrong with that?
Absolutely. My black is beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. All right. So I think this wraps up another edition of the OEG's Unscripted with Reese and Grace for this week. Mm-hmm. We will be back in 2 weeks with 2 more interesting topics. If you have a show idea or if you would like to be a guest on our show, hit us up. Okay. The OEG@yahoo.com or Facebook. www.facebook.com/OEG.unscripted. Mm-hmm. Whew, I need some coffee right now.
Yeah.
These lights, they get to you, and you start to get all, it's just so. I feel so Hollywood in here.
That was really good.